So if your situation's anything like this, you're chatting 8 hours a day, you're doing posting for 2 hours a day, you're outreaching for 1 hour a day, you might be editing videos for 2 hours a day. This is the situation I was in when we were making our first $100,000 in agency revenue. So we were still like this, we were making great money, like $3,000 a day net, but my entire day always consisted of like 12 to 14 hours of work, and it looks something like this. So once you get to this point, you're making decent money and you've learned every part of the business, you know what to do, you've got it all set up, and now if you wanted to add another creator, you couldn't physically do it because you don't have enough time. What you can do is outsource all the tasks to cheap VAs from third world countries. So after outsourcing, you can get rid of all those tasks, which are pretty basic and pretty easy to learn, therefore easy to outsource, and you can focus on the important stuff such as adding new traffic methods, improving client relationships, growing your personal brand, and working on your overall health. And that's actually a big one, because when you first start building a business, you're giving up most of your time and most of your energy into the business, and you're going to end up neglecting certain areas of your health. It might be your diet, it might be your sleep, you might start like bad habits such as like smoking, stuff like that, just to cope with the amount of stress you're under from the workload. So if you just spend the money, outsource the tasks you can that are pretty basic, it's going to be pretty cheap at the end of the day. If you can do this, you can get your health back, you can start growing your personal brand. It's going to get you more clients, more inbound leads, and you can also add more traffic methods instead of being stuck focusing on 1 or 2 traffic methods. You can hire people to do the traffic methods you already know, and then you can focus on learning new traffic methods, which you can go ahead and outsource afterwards. Now, instead of getting to the point where you are working 14 hours a day and then you start thinking about outsourcing, what you can do in your first month, if you sign a creator, you're making $5,000, $10,000 agency profit, you can go ahead, get a few chatters, hire them, get a few outreach VAs, hire them, and you can get a posting VA as well. Now, for the chatting team, you're going to need 3 to 4 chatters. You can find them in group chats such as Chatters Venture. If you want the link to this Telegram chat, just join my free Discord in the description, and I'll send you the link in there. So you can join this group. There's a bunch of people already with experience. You can hire them, you can make sure they're good, put them on the account, and it's only really going to cost you $3 an hour and about 3% commission. So just in the base hourly, it's going to be about $72 a day you're risking or paying out. So if you're making $100, $200, $300, then it's definitely worth hiring a few chatters here and there to help you out with the chatting. So once you've hired the chatting team, you don't have to worry about that side of the business as much. You still have to keep an eye on them at this point. You don't have any chatting managers. But your chat team's going to be pretty small, pretty manageable, and it's going to save you a bunch of time. And you can also then go ahead and offer 24-hour chat and support, because then the messages on the account are going to be answered 24 hours of the day. Instead of if you were doing it, you'd be on there 8 hours, 4 hours even, and then you'd miss a bunch of sales for the rest of the day. So after your first month, after you've secured the first payment from your client, you can go ahead, outsource the chatting, and then you can also hire an outreach VA, so you can get more clients without having to put a bunch of time into just sending DMs every few hours. So with an outreach VA, you can also find an outreach VA in Chatters Venture. There's a bunch of VAs in that chat looking for work, and the price for an outreach VA every day is going to be like $3 to $6, just like an hour or two. So it's pretty cheap to get an outreach VA, and it's definitely worth saving that 1 to 2 hours of your time that you can put into better things. And then finally, if you're posting to Reddit or you're posting to Instagram, whatever platforms you're currently promoting on, you can get a posting VA, pay them $3 an hour as well, by $6, $9 a day for the posting, maybe a bit more if you have more clients at this point. But you can outsource all the posting, to make sure they have the content that they need, make sure it's all managed correctly by you. And instead of posting for like 4 hours a day, you can just manage it, spend 30 hours a day making sure it's all good. And at that point, the main fundamentals of the business is fully outsourced, and you only have a few hours of work each day just maintaining the business and making sure everything's running smoothly. So after this is done, you can easily move on to scaling. Now you've got a bunch of time you can focus on. Do I want to scale my current creators vertically, or do I want to add creators and scale horizontally? Now both are good, both work, and you can do both at the same time. The main downside with the first one, scaling vertically, this happened to us. You have one really good client, they do great 1 month, and then next month that one client drops off, they don't do as well, and therefore your entire agency doesn't do as well because you're just depending on 1 or 2 clients. Let's say you had 8 clients, they're all doing similar. If one of them drops off, it's way less of a problem and way less of a loss to the agency's revenue. So by scaling horizontally and having a bunch of clients, you're going to have a bunch more work, but the risk of losing the revenue is way lower. And once you get to a point where you have a bunch of systems in place, which I'm going to share on the next slide, and you have a full team built, then you can just start scaling both ways, vertically and horizontally. You can scale your current clients, add traffic methods for them, and then you can also add clients and begin scaling them on the side. So once you've chosen to either scale your current clients vertically or you've started adding more clients horizontally, you're going to want to start outsourcing more of that workload so you can manage a greater amount of clients or a greater amount of, or even just put a greater amount of time into your current clients. So at this point, you should be doing over 100k a month. 6 to 12 months in. The main things you're going to need, either before or at this point, is a chat manager. So you don't have to train the chatters, you don't have to worry about them that much. You just have to manage the chat manager and make sure he's doing his job, and then he will handle the rest. So you want to hire a chat manager. You can do this by taking one of your current chatters, paying him a little bit extra, and getting him to manage the chats, make sure the chat schedule is good, make sure the pay is good. Literally everything to do with the chat you can outsource to him and just manage him for like maybe 10-15 minutes a day. If he has a big problem, then obviously you'll talk to him. That's how you outsource the entire messaging side of the business, is hire 1, 2, we have 3 chat managers at the moment. Outsource all the work to them, make sure they're trusted, make sure they're doing their job, keep checking in on them, and you won't have too many problems with the messaging side, and you can focus on getting more clients or improving your marketing. When you're improving your marketing, if you have a bunch of clients, if you have say 10 clients, you're not going to be able to keep track of everything yourself. So maybe you'll hire 1, 2, 3 social media managers. They'll be keeping track of what girls are posting, what they need to be posting, what content you do have, what you don't have, actually posting to the accounts and managing your VAs. So you can hire a few of these or even one of these to help you out with that side of things, so you don't have to spend all your day doing a bunch of menial tasks, and you can actually focus on the actual strategies you want to implement and build the systems out. Instead of working in the business, again, you're working on the business. So once you have all the day-to-day tasks covered by the chat manager and the social media manager, you can also go ahead and hire an editing team so you can get more advanced with your content and outsource the model's work. So the model has more time and she can just make raw clips, and then your editing team can go away, edit a bunch of clips for them. And what this is going to do is going to help them to be way more consistent, and you'll have way more creative control over the content they are making, which means you'll have way more of a chance of making them go viral. Another thing, instead of just having one outreach VA, maybe they're outreaching off an old agency page, or they're outreaching off of your personal, what you can do is you can invest a bunch of money into 1, improving your personal page, post some results on there, go into nice places, get nice pictures, posting value content surrounding OFM, helping OFM creators such as like short form content onto your page, just to build trust with your audience and with creators that do see the page, and therefore increasing your chance of clients being interested in working with you. Another thing you can invest in is growing theme pages to help you with outreach. If you don't know what theme pages are or babe pages, you can check out my other video I made just specifically on them. And you can also partner up with influencers and people with big social media followings and give them a percentage of the clients they bring you. You can give them a percentage of their earnings, sign them on a contract and get them outreaching for you so you can have better lead generation. So by the end of this, you can spend most of your day actually working on the business, not working in the business. And I've said it 3 times, but that's the most important thing to be doing if you are trying to scale and you're not trying to get stuck in the loop of just making the same money every single month and spending your day doing tasks that you could easily outsource and still be a profitable agency.